My mother's love language was food. If you would have ever visited in her home, Evelyn would have asked you, would you like a piece of pie? And when you said, well, Evelyn, I'm on a diet and I could just have a small piece, she would have given you a quarter of the pie. That's just how she expressed her love for other people. God did the same thing. Think back to the garden. It was filled with fruit. Think to the time of the people in the wilderness. There was manna and quail. They went into the promised land filled with milk and honey. And today we find an encounter with Jesus where he expresses his love for people through food. Let me read to you from Matthew chapter 15, verse 32. Jesus called his disciples to him and said, I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way. His disciples answered, where could we get enough bread in this remote place to feed such a crowd? How many loaves do you have? Jesus asked. 7, they replied, and a few small fish. Well, you know the rest of the story. Jesus took those loaves, he blessed them, and he gave the food out to 4,000 men and more women and children. And when they came back with all that remained, that was filled with baskets of food that was still left over. Jesus was concerned for these people. By the way, this is not the miracle of the 5,000. That came earlier on. In fact, it's amazing the disciples didn't have faith at this moment. The 5,000 was primarily to Jews. This is primarily to Gentiles. They were a people who were needy to hear the love of God. And it says here that Jesus had compassion on these people. I've been thinking in this time of so much change and so much uncertainty, how can we be reaching out to those people who need compassion as well? Well, I was thinking about my mom again. Why don't you go to one of your neighbors with that pie and express to them your care and concern for this at this time? It's a way for all of us to be involved in missions. Jesus showed compassion through food. We can too. And that's our encounter with Jesus.